Welcome, everyone, to one of my favorite topics on earth, multimedia publishing. And welcome. This is one of our first streamings that we're doing to celebrate all of the multimedia publishing all over the world. Today, we welcome our very own editorial director, Dortha Hise. And I am the publisher at large of PWT Publishing, which is the imprint of PWT Global and all good things PWT. So today we're celebrating a number of things. We are celebrating, let's start at the beginning. Our brand new magazine, Prosperous Living Today, yay! Which is being, when I tell you it's been a labor of love, this issue, Dortha, should we be completely honest and transparent?
I mean, that's what people come here for. So I think
Exactly.
we definitely.
So you know the upper right corner where it says what the season for the magazine is? Well, this is the third season that magazine label got changed. So it started spring. We're going to launch in the spring. Then it became summer. Okay, this is a summer issue. Then it was fall. It's like, is it really fall in November? Like you're just like borderline in winter, right? So it's like, okay, it is a fall winter issue, but it's here and we are so excited.
Yes.
Dortha, what was the delay?
It was me.
Yeah, really, it was me.
No, I think because we're a new team, each of us in our roles,
Yes.
the editorial and the publishing as a team. So there was some gelling that had to happen behind the scenes, and then really, we, in all transparency, we kind of hit the ground running really close to the deadline that we wanted to put this out. So we were really moving fast to make sure all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted. I had to think about that before I said it. And after we hit publish, we found things.
Yeah, and here's something I want to say to everyone who is publishing a book, whether you're doing self-publishing, hybrid publishing, which we highly recommend, and full legacy publishing, if anybody's still doing that. A book, to give a deadline for a book, unless you're writing a book about the holidays, like it's a Christmas book, it's a Christmas cooking book, yes, it better come out before Christmas. The truth is that it has a life of its own. It's got an incubation of its own. And what ended up happening with our magazine was that we began in the spring, right, with the full intention of, okay, the spring, we were never going to publish in the spring. That's when the concept came together, and we did our market analysis. We did a request. We took a look at the requests, because for all of you that are friends of ours, you know that we've been publishing Powerful Women Today magazine for several years now. I've lost track of how many years. And Dortha was the creative director for that magazine. She recently got promoted to editorial director because she's brilliant. And so we've been publishing Powerful Women Today for a while, and we kept getting a lot of requests from both gentlemen and also women that, some women really appreciate the women-centric messaging. Other women like it, you know what, I want it neutral, I want it for men and women, and hey, it's all good, right? And it's also slight different topics, right? So anyway, so we were really hoping for the summer. And then our energy and frequency summit came up for our expansion into the World Organization of Energy and Frequency Medicine. And then it just seemed, we need this in the magazine, right? So then we needed to finish the summit, and that's, it's a hefty issue. We needed to finish the summit, and then we were able to showcase it in our brand new issue. That was so cool.
It was, and which became like kind of the we kind of anchor pieces around certain things. And in this case, the summit became the anchor for this piece, and not an anchor in a bad way, by the way,
No,
that
no,
like
no.
dragging down.
Well, but issues do have,
Mhm.
you know, it's like a room, right? Like, you know, you got your focus piece or anchor piece. Yes, it
Yeah.
anchors the room, it anchors the magazine.
Yeah.
But, you know, here's the thing why we're so excited about magazines,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And it's funny because they have gone through an evolution, you know, being the only, you know, niche based um, world that each magazine, Vogue, or, you know, Architectural Digest, whatever it was the way to find your community pre
Mhm.
social media, right?
Yep.
And then, you know, magazines realize, big and small, realize that, you know, now digital is the way to go. The speed that you can put out digital information is definitely an advantage. But what I like the most, and this is where Dortha and I share our passion, and I mean, she's a big girl, she can speak for herself. One of the things that I like about multimedia is that with AI, and I love AI, for anybody that tells you as part of my doctoral research and dissertation, um, anybody can be anything. So just because you say it in print does not necessarily mean it is the intellectual capacity or the intellectual product of the
Mhm.
author.
Yep.
So here's where, and yes, of course, you can still, you know, have AI write your script and then you write the script. However, multimedia, when you introduce video, when you introduce conversations, not presentations, that is when you get to see the truth, the you know, the, what was it called, the wizard behind the, you know, the screen, right? Like who
Yes.
is real, who it isn't, who's authentic, and such. What's your take on multimedia? What, I know why you like it, but I want to make sure that that is the case.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been talking about this for a while. Sure, AI is definitely changing the game. I still think and stand by, you know, the critical thinking element of humans being the driving factor of what differentiates us. And I think more now than ever, having this right here, what we're doing, like with real actual people,
So we
is
are.
gonna be the game changer. And I think people who are showing up on video are the ones that are gonna start noticing a shift and a difference, and especially moving forward into 2026 and beyond. I think we're just gonna see that more and more, even though, you know, we've been hearing like, "Oh, there's AI fakes and there's this and there's that." Sure. And, you know, like, we make mistakes and we show up authentically and transparency and talk about all the
And
stuff.
for thought leaders, like, yes, there's
Mm.
avatars, and yes, you know, I still like the game. Is this real or is it AI? Right? Especially for celebrities, you know.
Mm.
The reality is that for the type of people that we represent, from the type of creators and authors and clinicians and practitioners and experts, and all people with a powerful message that we're thrilled to give a platform to help spread their word globally.
Mm.
We're, we don't have the budgets or the time or the creativity, for that matter, to because we're not content creators. We are thought leaders that do content in order to share our passion, share our knowledge, share the latest research for the communities we serve.
Yep.
And that is a huge difference between content creators and thought leaders who share multimedia.
Mhm.
Yes. So what so now we got two magazines, and this one's out actually. We are sharing it for free as a free download starting tomorrow, Wednesday. It depends when this video airs. It's either tomorrow Wednesday or today Wednesday, December the
Depending when you're
3rd.
watching.
Correct. It is true, actually, even with best intentions for it to go out today, somebody could be watching it tomorrow. Somebody could be watching it yesterday. So anyways, we are sharing the free download for our brand new issue of our magazine, December 3rd, 4th, 4th, and 5th for 3 days. You can download on Kindle. The magazine is shared over 8 or 9 Amazon markets. I forget how many, is maybe up to 10.
Yeah.
I'm always humbled. We get downloads from Japan and Australia and Brazil and Mexico, and it's just like India is
Canada, yeah.
lovely. Yes, it's not
All
as
of our,
exotic
I
as
know, no, but it is. I mean, to those of us who don't live there, sure it is.
we do, of course. And we are, headquartered actually both in Canada and the US. And but it's really a global message. In fact, one of the mentor experts in our magazine comes from Italy, and she's a PhD in nutrition, Dr. Bardin, and you want to hear her talk, which is in the magazine because it's multimedia, right? So you can access, you can read, you can view, you can listen any which way you rather enjoy content,
Yeah, I
right?
think it's a really cool way to interact because it's not just a magazine that you flip through and read. It's a magazine that, yes, you'll see pictures and you'll see QR codes that will take you places to give you additional resources or videos or all of the kind of cool ways that I think that's one of the things that's really like unspoken about multimedia is that it's the element of touching all learning styles within one kind of container.
And actually, we are just so, as I said, we begin with our little engine that could, Powerful Women Today magazine, which has over 10,000 subscribers. Like, and we reached, that is direct subscribers. Plus, we share it on social media, so it gets like hundreds of thousands of imprints globally. So we're so thrilled and we're so thankful to our followers and community that have seen us grow, right? So now with Prosperous Living Today and 2 more new magazines coming out in 2026, which we're not quite ready to share it today, but we're excited to share them in the new year. There will be incredible things. You may not know that Dortha is actually an automation and delegation strategist and a collaboration catalyst. So she is writing up quizzes that people will be able to take online, right, in the magazine, and get your
Yeah.
results and get something interactive and fun, and it's just amazing what our team can do.
Yes.
And
I don't have anything to add. I mean, the quiz is out, and it was a labor of love, I will say. It was a
our
lot of
first
cussing.
quiz, it was testing. And if there's
Yes.
anything that you would like to see or anything you would like to contribute and share and be part of one of our experts and give us some ideas and feedbacks, really, feedback is a gift. I'm a researcher. And both Dorothy and I thrive on feedback. So
Yes.
are we ready to move on to the other
Yes.
2 that we are thrilled to share? Is that we are creating the second edition of 2 of our international bestsellers. Success Without Burnout stayed at #1 on Amazon for 16 days, which I know you thought I was going to say weeks or months, but you know what? Each day on Amazon is a week or a
That's
year
right.
or a month somewhere else. So to be #1 in multiple categories, international bestseller, 8 Amazon markets, it was just brilliant. And so we're now ready to begin to assemble and curate our second edition. What do you like about the anthology? You are the queen of putting, help curate the anthologies, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what I love about it is that there's a central theme and the depth and breadth that each of the contributing authors brings to the table is always unexpected. I mean, you think you go into a project and you're like, "Oh, it's gonna be this and it's gonna be that." And you may even get like general ideas and broad strokes from people. And when they contribute their chapter, it's like, "Holy crap, like I didn't see it going there.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
it's true.
always that way. Yeah.
True. And all of our experts that contribute to our anthologies have such a robust ecosystem of resources and knowledge that this is really an introduction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And it is multimedia. So you're
Mm.
able to listen to them, to view them, and continue downloading the resources that they provide,
Mm.
which are great samplers. Always, this is like Costco, right? It's like you go and you sample first. And so you should, because you know what?
Yeah.
There's brilliant coaches for everyone, and not
Mm.
everyone works best with the same type of coach or guide or professional or mentor, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you really do your research. We're all working very hard for our money, so you need to make sure that what you invest, especially with coaches and mentors, you're
Mm-hmm.
trusting them with your vulnerabilities and with your well-being. So you got to make sure it's a vetted, curated resource.
Yeah. And I think to that, just to like tack on a little bit, like, when you're looking at somebody, sure, testimonials are helpful, but being able to see that they've done the things that you want to do is one of the things I always look at when I'm potentially going to work with a client, a coach rather, is like, okay, can they take me where I want to go? Yes, they have the vehicle. Is it the right vehicle? So
Yeah.
those are some of the really, and like some of our experts, they unpack that in their chapters of these books, and they just sort of bare their soul, and it's like these beautiful transformational, the chrysalis, and it's really, it's awesome.
And usually, and I'm not, it's just experience of what I come across. I don't mean to make a generalization, but usually women, the transformational piece comes about a personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Most, not all, but most of the mentor experts and coaches and guides and such, they know it personally. You don't often see that with men, and that goes the same for entrepreneurship. However, the men that PWT Publishing attracts also come from personal transformation, which
Yeah.
is lovely to see, right? Is
Mm.
um, like you said, is so deep,
Mhm.
what they do, and we have many returning contributors to our anthologies, so that you're able to really get their perspective on different topics. So we're super excited. So success with a burnout. We're launching the scouting. So tapped. Let's have a conversation. And certainly you can schedule an appointment with either Dortha and I, or you can click to download the information kit and know what we're all about. So we have our commitment about breaking barriers to access and success. So our packages usually surprise people in the most positive way. So the
Mhm.
second edition that we are also going to celebrate in the spring is Midlife Without Crisis. I cannot tell you, this book was issued, I think, a little bit over 2 years ago. And every November, if you are a friend of our brand, um, you know that throughout the month of November, we always re-release all of our books for free, right? We do a campaign. It's just November is like the International Day for human rights, and also that's December 10th. But it's there's a lot of advocacy campaigns in November, so we make sure that we re-release all those books, and each year there's several. The launch year is the big year, but every year I'm always humbled how many hundreds of copies are downloaded during the month of November, which is great for the authors because it keeps
Mhm.
sharing their chapter year after, is in perpetuity as long as the edition is still active, and it just keeps reaching out a new audience.
Mhm. And I think I keep hearing from people this whole midlife thing, whatever that looks like for the community that we serve here, and just like the community at large within our friends and our families of this space. I think that conversation gets deeper with each like iteration, not just that this is the second edition. I think that this topic just gets a little bit better and better each time, we get to have the opportunity to share and show up with, like you're saying, without crisis. Yes, it's in the title, and we get to choose, and I think that's the really powerful
And
thing
you
of
know what?
how.
In each time a new anthology comes together, because it's a collaboration of up to 25
Mhm.
contributors. It just gives it a whole different mix. And even like for these two editions, I think there's five and six returning authors for the second edition, which are submitting brand new, updated information, right? It's not like they're
Yeah.
submitting the same chapter they did before. So anthologies are exciting. It's
They
the
are.
best way to really look at a topic from different perspectives,
Mhm.
and listen to different ways of approaching it and solving, the challenges at hand.
And as an author, I think it's a really great resource and tool to have in your, little tool chest. If you're
Yeah.
not quite ready to break off the piece of like, oh, I want to do a book, and I'm not ready to commit to doing the whole big thing myself, an anthology is a really great bite-size, intermediary step to that.
Yeah.
And a fun way to do it, I think, because you get to also meet and mingle with the other authors, and you start to, you start branching out, and then you're like, oh, I'm starting to see all the possibilities. And the next thing you know, you're working on a second edition of your own old book, like some of those kind of fun things.
And you know what? In publishing, we think legacy publishing, that is like paper. Really, publishing is a podcast, publishing is a magazine, publishing is a blog, publishing is, you are a published author when you
Mhm.
participate in all of the media ways,
Yeah.
um, media mediums, all of the media ways that you can touch an audience. And it's important that you do it in several styles of communication, because people learn differently, people engage
Mhm.
differently. So I
Yes.
thank you for sharing this incredible celebration. Dortha and I have a lot of surprises for you in the coming year, from publishing solo books to publishing even podcasts, micro podcasts, reels. We're even starting to work on a documentary. So it is exciting, loving technology, loving communication, loving all of you for
Yes.
staying with us, for believing in us and trusting us. And, there's days that, you're just not feeling it. And there'll be like subscriptions or comments, or, it just messages from all of you. And I have to tell you, it keeps us going. It keeps us going. So
Mhm.
I thank you. And I thank Dortha, and I thank all of our contributors, yes, and all of our friends, and just everyone. Enjoy the holidays, reading good material, put good seeds
Mm.
into your ecosystem, right? Into your best life, best
Mm.
self, to
Yeah.
create your best life. So
Yeah.
thank you, everyone, and we'll put the links where you can get the free downloads and the requests for the information kits. So thank you so much. And until next time,
Take care.
bye.